Happy Monday, real estate operations community. Josie here and Carissa, she's got a little bit of a voice, a little bit of a
Just
voice.
a little bit. I'm trying to conserve it, but it's there a little bit.
Yeah, so it's funny because we've said it before. We send a monthly kind of insider brief, if you will, to our Ops Insider members, right? Our little mini paid membership community. So every Monday we send them something with a motivational video, and we rotate on that little mon weekly newsletter. So she sent it out. I get it. I don't always look at the video if I'm running around, but I did, and I heard her voice, and I'm like, oh dear God. But she says, like, she's like, I feel okay. I just sound awful. And I've been there because y'all know I have this chronic cough that I've been working on. And there's a lot of days where I'm coughing my lungs out. And I'm like, I feel fine. I just can't get rid of this allergy cough. But it gave me the idea that, when you are under the weather, because clearly maybe she feels fine now, but it's not like you felt like 100% like last
Right.
week or all
Right.
weekend. So, and in real estate, we don't have the luxury of just shutting it down sometimes. Like, yes, you absolutely need to rest when you need to rest, and sometimes you just can't, right? And I mean, Chris is an agent. She's also, broker for real in Georgia, and so it's even trickier to be able to be like, yeah, I'm out, for a couple days. So the idea is, what is it that you do when you are under the weather? Or what are things rather, as ops people, we always keep busy. I always say that if people call me that, are you busy? Like, I'm never not busy, let me tell you. If I answer the phone, that means I'm not busy enough that I could answer the phone, for example. But like, if I'm not busy, if I'm not doing something, I'm not doing my job, right? So there's always something to work on. And yet, what are the things that you can work on when you're under the weather, or maybe when you have to be laid up in bed, but you still want to feel like you're being productive because you can't just not do business for a month necessarily because you're not feeling great per se, right? And yet if you can't do calls because you can't use your voice or you shouldn't be using your voice, so you can't do lead gen necessarily or that type of lead gen, right? So just to be able to kind of talk through some of that for you guys, because it is crazy allergy season and it is, just going into June, and there's burnout that you might be feeling. So you might just be like, I don't even want to talk to people right now because I'm just feeling burnt out, basically. But you know that you still need to generate business. You need to work on your leads to go into the second half of the year, right? So that was really kind of what was on my mind today. What are some of the different strategies that we've done ourselves and our businesses with our teams, with our coaching clients, right, that we can kind of share with you guys?
So I would say like f your Facebook is a great way to like either communicate with people, update your birthdays, because I'm big on like updating my birthdays in my CRM. So that's a way for you to do it since you can't be on the phone. But also like your DTD2, your texting,
Wait, what do you
right?
mean when you say update birthdays? Elaborate on that.
So updating like so most people who are on Facebook do post their birthday on
Right.
Facebook. So I go through there and I just look at the birthdays that are coming up and I make sure if they're in my database that I have their birthday in there as well. So I'm
Perfect.
saying happy birthday to them on Facebook, but I'm also double downing in my CRM to make sure that I'm because I do birthday cards.
Perfect.
So that, and then the DTD2 on, just making sure you're doing your texting on your DTD2. You can use those days for your content creation when you're talking, when I say content, like your social media, like get your calendar ready, like do the things that don't require your voice and leverage like that. Because if you can't be talking or you're not feeling great, you can lay in bed and do those type of things. And nobody knows that you're not in business attire, right? So
Hmm.
it's just about you like not saying what you can't do, but what can I do? And it gives you an excuse to do it because most of the time we're on the go and running and on the phone. So we're like, we can't be doing this slower stuff. So it just gives you that opportunity to like plug in.
Absolutely. And I totally agree with the DTT2 first. That's always the first thing that's going to come to mind, even if you can't make calls, right? DTD2 stands for Do the Database 2. We've talked about it. It's a quarterly call system created by Steve Schluter and Cami Youngs, right? Look up neverendingreferrals.com. Anybody could sign up through their website to take that program, and I highly recommend it. So if you can't do the calls, but there's also a texting component. Like they do call text that they recommend every week, right? It's based on letter of your last name. So at least do the text. I'm much happier if you're going to send out at least 20 texts and get replies than if you do nothing, right? You just don't reach out to the database. So think about always having like when we do our team's marketing and event calendar, every quarter at the top, one of the line items is like the reason to reach out, the DTD2 contacts, right? And so I always try to put a preset to just help take the thinking out of it. This is what you could be asking for this month, or this is what the conversation would look like for this quarter, rather, right? So the beginning of the year, it's always collecting, kind of updating the database so that it's a check-in call. Do you have any goals for the year? Also, hey, I noticed we're missing your address or your email or your birthday or whatever. And you just kind of fill in those gaps through the DTD2. And then, you know, Q2 could be about spring events, or if you have a client event coming up and you're just kind of inviting people, talking about it, whatever, whatever. So you just always want to have a reason to call. And if you have no reason to call, then just do a care call, right? But then you could do a care text. So, hey, I was just thinking of you. How's, you know, it's the first day of June. It's crazy. I just thought of you. Like, do you have any summer plans coming up? Or how are you? How have you been? How's your year been going? Like, I can't believe we're in June already. Whatever you want it to be. Have it be open-ended, right? So that they have a reason to reply, not just, hey, thinking of you, hope all is well, because you're gonna get a thumbs up to that, right? Maybe a heart. Um, so open-ended questions, but that you could text. You could literally copy and paste that. You could go into your CRM and just, I mean, mass text it if you really like, just want to get it out and then just like go lay down or whatever the case is. But again, something is better than nothing, right? And then for the socials, to put a point on what Carissa was saying. Like I love the idea. Think about even if you can't do a reel, like a talking reel, but B-roll footage is a wonderful thing. You could literally be feeling like crap, but you could take a 3 second like clip of you typing at a computer and use that as some B-roll footage. This is also a reason why it's good to just always have plenty of B-roll footage in your phone or saved in a Google Drive or something like that that you can fall back to. And then, like she said, you could pull some of that so that you're still able to do reels, right? And do some content that way. Where they can still see your face and things of that nature. Or you just do your static posts, get caught up on posts and things of that nature, right? So those are definitely some great ideas to still keep you in positive momentum, without necessarily needing to put a ton of brain power into it, right?
Right. And then for the socials, I would even say people like to help, right? So when you don't have anything to, we always have something to say, but when you don't want to be salesy or anything like that, like I could have done a post like a community outreach, like, hey, what's your solutions to laryngitis, right? Like, what are your remedies? And you guys know I'm a broker. Like, tie it back into what you do and be like, I have to be on the phone, so I need like all of y'all's secrets. And so people want to help. So that inspires them to like just it's get in your chats, get in your DMs, and then that opens up a door for you to thank them and even do a little card and say, hey, thanks, Josie, for telling me about that local honey and whatever tea. It really helped. You know what I mean? Like it's just it makes it genuine and not so much like a forced conversation.
Right, exactly. And the other thing that I was thinking of, was just database work, right? So like we said specifically the DTD2, but literally like, are you behind on notes? Can you just get in your system and just do mindless work? Like I spent one night last week, I was really behind on our lead form. So it's something our client care manager does, but it's still my job to audit it. And I do try to do it in more real time, like keep up with her week to week, every other week, right? And I was behind for like a couple months. So I sat there finally, I think Wednesday, Tuesday night, hours, okay, like almost till midnight. And I needed to stay up anyways for a different personal reason. So I was like, let me just do this. And I was going to stop at a certain point. And then, once you're on a momentum, you kind of just keep going. It was mindless. I had on Netflix in the background, but it was just an easy thing for me to do, was just to kind of go through audit, like just data entry type stuff, right? And so do you have like just admin tasks that have just been sitting on your to-do list that you really do need to get done at some point? So if you're feeling under the weather, can you just sit down in bed with your laptop or in like a little what do they call them? Bed tray tables or something like that? Or do you feel well enough to sit up at the couch, right? Like I love it, and I almost wish I was at home to show you guys. People love my coffee table. It's one of those that rise, right? And I've had it forever, and it's like super old looking. And but when I buy a new one, I will buy the same type because it's just a coffee table, but it rises, right? So I can work right there from the couch. And that's not actually not we didn't buy it for work. We bought it because we just liked to eat dinner sometimes and watch TV together or whatever. But it's just helpful. So sometimes y'all see me even on video. Like if I'm really cold, I always say the living room's the warmest place in my place, right? So you'll see me with my riser on my couch with my blankets and I'll work from there because that's just real life, right? And so like where can you cozy up when you're not feeling good, right? And still just get work done, right? And even to Carissa's point, even if you're not feeling well, you can hop on a reel. Surprised sometimes the amount of interactions that you'll get, like when you're vulnerable to share when things are not going great, because the people who are also experiencing the same or similar they feel vulnerable and comfortable enough to now agree with you or to be able to be like, yeah, I'm going through it as well. And then the people who love and support you will chime in to just give you some motivation and encouragement as well, right? So think of it even from that way. Like it's not necessarily about generating business, but it's always about just being authentic and just showing up for who you are. And I think that's super important.
Exactly. And everybody gets sick at some point. So it's okay to tell people that you're not feeling well, right? And
Right.
again, that connection, like most people will see, like they don't see me without my hair done or my makeup on. And I'm not saying get on there and look like a train wreck, but it's okay to show that like I'm not always like on, right? So
Right.
you become human
Exactly.
and people connect with humans.
Exactly. Yeah. So, really mindless work, database work for sure. Like, I think it's still important to stay in some type of productive momentum. And yet there's so much that you don't have to necessarily be on the phone for, that you don't necessarily have to be people facing for, that you can still be productive with, right? So it's still always going to be lead focus, I'm saying it wrong, but the quote from the MRA, lead focus marketing enhanced, prospecting based marketing enhanced, right? So you still want to make sure you're getting your prospecting in, but different types of prospecting. If you're somebody who does golden letters, maybe that's a perfect day to just work on some golden letters, right? Get your list done. You're just filling envelopes and stuffing envelopes, and that's something where you don't have to talk. It takes low energy, but it's still a high impact type of task that you can get done off of your to-do list. So this is why I'm a fan of to-do lists, because I always joke and I say it's a never-ending to-do list, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. There's always, again, something that I can default back to when I'm like, what can I be doing right now? What more should I be doing for my business? I always have a list of ideas and things, right, to stay in some type of positive momentum.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
with that being said, give yourself some grace though. So if you need rest, rest. But
Yes.
if it's just like me where I don't feel bad, just pull up your computer, cozy up on the couch and put Netflix on and get done what you need to get done.
Exactly. Exactly. So hopefully those little tips helped you for anybody who is feeling under the weather, sending all the good vibes because I know again that allergy season and this year has just been a hot mess with people not feeling well. So we're sending you all the good vibes and all the healthy energies. And then hopefully some of these tips can help inspire you on ways to still be productive even if you're not feeling 100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, y'all have a great day and we will talk to you later. Maybe
Bye,
talk
guys.
over.
Bye, guys.